आ गए क्या सब? हाय, हेलो हेलो guys, hello. Hi Anuj, hi Aju, hello. I'm doing great Anuj, thank you for asking buddy. How are you doing? Superb. Hi, hello Kunal, good evening. Can you guys quickly confirm if you're able to hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, audio check, video check. Are you able to see me? Do you remember the space? Great. Superb. So what I am here with for you guys today is ratios and proportions. Yes, this is not only going to help us answer the questions from ratios and proportions, but will also help us answer questions from other concepts as well. Like we've seen how ratios and proportions are extremely important for mixtures and allocations and averages. And we've seen its importance in time work, time, speed, distance. Yes, and the other major area where this will be of a great use is your DI. Yes, your data interpretation. Yeah. So apart from standalone questions from ratios and proportions, the importance, right, has been laid over throughout the section, and not only this section but also on DI. Yeah. Now, I understand that ratios is a very basic concept, and how to deal with these questions are also very standard, right? And we are all aware of it. Yes, but what we'll be looking at today, guys, is how to deal with these questions in a more time efficient manner. Yes, so we will be working on reducing the amount of time spent for these questions, at the same time increasing our accuracy as well. Yes, because both of these are extremely important for your CAT. Yes, and if your aim is anywhere over 99th percentile, then you know that you'll have to work hand in hand with both of these things. Yes, so you'll have to work on your time management as well as your accuracy level. You'll have to increase. Yes, so our session for today would be focusing on these two major criterions. Yes, so we'll not only be looking at what ratios are and what proportions are, but we will also be looking at variations today. That is, when two entities are directly proportional or two entities are inversely proportional, right? So that is the agenda for today. That is our aim for today. Yes, very basic questions, something that will help you, realize or brush up the, concepts of ratios, proportions, variations that you've learned already, right? So today's session purely focused on brushing up everything we know and learning a little something new every day. Yes, great. So has everyone joined us? Is there everyone here? Superb. Great. Hi. Hello, Jagrati, not Jagrati, Jagrati. Hello, Vibhor. Hi, Girish. Hello, Abhilasha. Hello, Happy Life. Hi, Vineet. If you are my fan, buddy, thank you so much. Thank you. Nobody has ever told that to me, ever. Great. Superb. Hello, Asta. Hi. Jagrati, yes, my sessions are scheduled 6:30 p.m. on the dot every single day. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, every day. Yes, every day I'll see you at 6:30 p.m. Yes. Hi Prince, hello, good evening. Hi Shahid, hello Anjali, hi Ritvik. Hemant, buddy, good evening. Hi Shilpa, Deepak. Vibhor, yes. So we will have a dedicated session for speed math alone. Yes. And I understand where this is coming from, right? Your affection towards your calculator, right? You trying to get away from it. Yes. Kind of like an addiction. I understand. Yes. So we will take a session on speed math as well. Of course we will. Yes. Right, Ritvik. Let's start then. Yes, super. There's so many people here today. There's Anuj, there's Vijay. Hi, Pankaj. Hello, Hemant. Hello, Garima. Raj, super. Trikash, Swati, Namaste. Great. Pankaj, new student. Always welcome. Always welcome. Great. Okay, so anyone who does not know me, which I don't think there's anyone left, but then if you still do not know who I am and what I do, my name is Amit Surana. I am an aeronautical engineer from Chennai with over 5 years of experience teaching quantitative aptitude to trainers and people, and I've helped over 2 lakh students achieve everything that they've always wanted to with regards to clearing exams and quantitative aptitude, of course. That, so if you're planning on sharing this on any of your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, do not forget to use hashtag cat life daily. This will help us know that you're doing this. Yes, great. Look at the energy, guys. Look at the energy. Hi, I know beneath energy level has touched roof. Yes, great, Anuj. Yeah, of course. So if you are new here, there's a small culture that we follow. After we complete every single concept, we have this habit of taking a small sip of water. So if you can keep a bottle of water or a glass of water, anything that will help you, a big can of water, whatever that you think is suitable for you, please keep it next to you because you will be using that a lot as well, right? Superb, superb. Hi, Amritesh. Hello. Great, Shilpa, superb. So if you guys are excited for today's session, guys, please go ahead and like this video. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do not think twice before doing it. Great. And if you're looking for a community where a lot of other aspirants are there, yes, this is the place where you ought to be. Download the Telegram app where we have a group. Yes, for you to join that group, all you have to do is type in this URL, tinyurl.com/Unacademy CAT. If you have difficulties typing this link, the link will be sent to you in the chat in some time, and you can directly click on that and join the group. Yes, I am a part of this group as well, including over 200 other aspirants. Yes, people who always have been aiming, probably first timers or people who've given it multiple times, but everyone towards the same aim, cracking CAT. Yes, great. And okay, so let's begin with the introduction. Yes, so what we are going to do in today's session, I've told this earlier, I'm going to tell this again. Yes, so along with basics of ratios, basics of proportion, as well as basics of variations, yes, we will also be looking at a very small number of shortcuts because, to be frank, guys, we've been using ratios and proportions all our life. Yes, and since we've been doing this for all our lives, the traditional method itself has become like a shortcut to us. Yes, so most of the calculation that has to be done in the traditional way, we do it in the same way, but then mentally, which actually reduces a lot of time and increases the accuracy. So today's agenda is for us to reduce the amount of time that we spend on ratios and proportions and variation, at the same time increase the accuracy at which we do that. Yes, great. So are you guys excited? Yes, superb. Hi, Harshit. Hello. Happy Life Night WhatsApp group we do not have, no, but we have one on Telegram. Yes. Beneath, about that, let's see what we can do about it, because that particular group is, focused on, sharing information from our end to you. But yeah, maybe we can work something out like that. Yes, probably create a separate group for us. Yes, the everydays, right? People who come everyday, people who see me every day, people who are my fans, right? So we can have a separate, group for that. I'll probably create one and send you the link as well, where we can do, talking as well, right? Great. Superb then, superb. Shilpa, hi. Muskan, hello. Akshay, super excited. Great, Akshay, great. Okay, let's go ahead then. Yes. What do we know about ratios? What is it that we know about ratios? Yes. The first thing is the use of it, right? What is the purpose of ratios? Why do we use ratios? Simple thing, ratios are used for comparison. Yes. So if I tell you that the profits of some company, yes, the profits of some company X is 5 parts and of Y is 3 parts. Yes. What do you know about it? We know that the ratio of their profits X and Y is what? 5:3 for sure. Yes. But with this, do you know how much profit did company X see? No. Do we know how much profit did company Y see that particular year? No. But what do we know? compared to the profits of company X, company Y's profit was this much. Do you get it? Yes. So this is a very powerful tool for comparison. This works as good as percentage. Yes. But the only difference is what? Percentage, the common term there is what? 100. Yes, with percentage we have a common term 100, and any data, any piece of information can be compared this way. But then when we deal with ratio, right? When we deal with ratio, it's mostly of the same nature. For example, if this is profit per year, yes, then this should also be profit per year. Yes, only then the comparison would be effective. Otherwise, we're just comparing two numbers. Yes, two integers, two whole numbers, natural numbers, whatever, just two numbers. Yes, but then apart from comparing two numbers, you can always go ahead and compare two quantities as well. Yes, now when I say A is to B or X is to Y, in this case is 5 is to 3, what do I mean? I basically mean that the profits of X of that year over the profit of Y that year will be 5 by 3. Yes, or the other way around, profits of company Y that year over the profits of company X that year would be what? 3 by 5, which is how much? 0.6. Do you get it? So this 0.6, guys, this 0.6, can I say, is nothing but the percentage value also. So 0.6 can be written as what? 60%, correct? That basically means what? That the profits of company Y is 60% of profits of company X, correct? Yeah, so a very powerful tool for comparison, provided the entities that are compared are of the same nature. Yes, I can always go ahead and compare, let's say weight and height also. Yes, I can compare weight of, a particular article, and I can compare the height also. I can do that. Yes, I can say the weight is to height ratio is 1 is to 2, which means for every kg, the height should be 2 feet. Yes, different units, different entities, right? The nature is completely different. I can still do it, but would not be a very powerful, or an effective way of comparison. Yes, got it. Great. Right. Hi, Nikhil. Vijay, of course, go ahead and do that, right? But don't forget to add me in that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to call you Mr. Basu because it's very difficult for me to pronounce your name. Is it Tathagata? Tathagata Basu? Is it that? Great. Hi, Shilpa. Hello, Ritvik. Swarna. Sarfaraz. Hello, new guys. Great. Okay, great. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? So the first thing is what? It's a powerful tool for comparison. Yes, and A is to B basically is what? A over B, right? Something that we've known all our lives. Now, when you deal with ratios, what do you know? When I say the profits, right? The profits were 5 is to 3. Does it mean the profit was 5 rupees for company X and 3 rupees for company Y? Need not mean that. Yes, but what do I know? The fraction, right? The fraction is maintained here. The ratio would be maintained as 5 is to 3. So this could be 10 rupees over 6 rupees. This could be over, 100 crore rupees. Yes, and this could be 60 crore rupees, whatever. Yes, these could be in dollars, this could be anything. Yes, but ultimately, if I were to divide these two, if I were to divide 1,000 crores and 60 crores, the least number I would be left with would be what? 5 is to 3. Yes, so these are the smallest factors of these. Got it? Yes, after cancelling out. Yes. So what do I know? If I say A is to B is the ratio, yes, that is the same as any common term multiplied to it. Yes, M into A, M into B. In fact, I can say it's equal to that. So when I say the profits are, profits of company X and company Y are 5 is to 3, this basically means what? That their profits are 5M and 3M. Yes, where m is what? M is called as the common multiple. Yes, it's the common multiple between these ratios. Yeah, ultimately what would happen? These common multiples would get cancelled out and we would remove it later. Got it? Yes. Not only multiplying, you can also divide it with the same thing. For example, I can call this as 5 by m is to 3 by m. Yes, 5 by m is to 3 by m, which again means what? Common multiple, right? But here the multiple would be what? 1 by m. Still would get removed off. Yes, the final ratio would still be 5 is to 3. Got it? So this particular step shows what? That any multiplication or division that is done to the ratio, provided it's done to both these ratios, yes, with the same term, then the ratio does not change. Yes, so if I multiply both ratios 5 and 3 with 2, 10, 20, whatever, the ratio would still remain the same. So when you multiply m to the ratios or divide with m to the ratios, right, the ratios still remain the same as a is to b. That's the key point here. Got it? Yes, just the basics, nothing, serious here. Yes, great. Akshay, we'll work on that. We'll see what can be done about it. Yes, great. Hi Ravi, hello, welcome. Yes, now if you were to multiply or if you were to divide it with two different terms, yes, here in this case, do you see how a by m is to b by n? Yes, which means the ratio itself is in fractions. Yes, if the ratio itself is in fractions, this basically means what? If you were to divide this, for example, yes, let me give you a quick example. Let's say we have a ratio that is 5 by 3 is to 2 by 7. Yes, if there are two entities that are in the ratio 5 by 3 is to 2 by 7, what happens here? When I say is to, I basically divide it, right? So this would be equal to what? 5 by 3 divided by 2 by 7, correct? So what would I do here? I would take the reciprocal. Yes, so 5 by 3 into 7 by 2, correct? That's basically what? 5 into 7 and 3 into 2. That is nothing but a into n, right? So do you see cross multiplying? Yes, the denominator and the numerator on the left, the numerator and the denominator on the right. Yes, so an is to bm, or 5 into 7 is to 3 is to 2. Yes, so this ratio would be same as what? 35 is to 6. Clear? Any confusions here? Yes, so 5 by 3 is to 2 by 7 is the same as 35 is to 6. Yes, any confusions here? None? Yeah, great, super. Yes, now the last thing here that we have is what? The common term. That is, if I were to make a continuous ratio, right, or if I were to combine two different ratios that have a common term, a is to b and b is to c. Yes, for example, if I have a ratio, say same thing, profits of company y, company x, company y, and company z. Yes, and if the ratios were 5 is to 3 for company y and 3 is to 2 for company z. Yes, so if the ratio of x and y is 5 is to 3, y and z is 3 is to 2, then I can say the combined ratio of x, y, and z would be what? 5 is to 3 is to 2. Got it? Yes, 5 is to 3 is to 2, provided the common term is equal. What is the common term here? Y. Do you see how the ratio of y in both cases is 3? Yes, then what happens here? The ratios become combined. You can combine these three ratios. So x is to y is to z would basically be what? 5 is to 3 is to 2. Yeah, but if they are not equal, if the common terms ratio is not equal in both cases, then you cannot directly combine, but you can multiply something or divide something to make it common. Yes, for example, if we have 5 is to 2, yes, x and y's ratio, y and z's ratio is 4 is to 3, then how would I combine? Then what would be the ratio of x, y, and z? So I'll have to do what? I'll have to make sure that the common terms ratio, yes, the common terms ratio is the same. So here y is 4 parts, here y is 2 parts. So how can I make them same? By doubling this ratio. So 5:2 is the same as 10:4, correct? 5:2 is the same as 10:4. So now what do I have? 10:4, 4:3. So now I can combine it as what? 10:4:3. Clear? Yes. Correct. Yes. Yeah, super Sarfaraz. If you like point 3, very nice. These are very simple things that will help us answer or make a lot of small calculations, minute parts of the problem turn out to be very simple. Yes, super. So no confusion with this. The basics of ratio everybody understands. Yes. Yes. Okay, Nikhil. So you want to talk about difference, right? Is that what you're saying? Or are you talking about different numbers that are being multiplied? So if different numbers are being multiplied, then the ratio will change. Yes, instead of multiplying the same number, yes, I'm going to write it here. Let's say x and y. Yes, the ratio that we assumed initially was 5:3, correct? So if I say I for some reason this ratio gets doubled and this ratio gets tripled, then in that case the ratio doesn't remain the same. This will become what? 10:9 then. 10:9 is not the same as 5:3. Clear? Do you understand that? Yes. So 5:3 is not the same as 10:9 because the common multiple is not here, right? These are not the two common terms. If the same number is multiplied or divided, then yes. Yeah. Swarna's screen is, is it because I'm writing on my face? It's kind of transparent, so I think you can see through it, right, Swarna? Yeah, great, super. So let's move ahead then. Let's move ahead. Yes, let's look at an example. Yes, we have a question on the screen. Let's look at this very simple question, very simple understanding of this, right? What is given to us? There's a ratio, right? Not one ratio, but multiple ratios are given to us. Yeah. So what do we have? We have A is to B to be 2:3. B is to C is 5:2. C is to D is 1:4. Yes, they're asking what? What is A is to B is to C? Yes. Okay, guys, no issues, no issues. Yeah, so I've been writing on my face, no issues. My face, my rules. No, I'm kidding. That was transparent, so I thought you were able to see through it. No issues. Yeah. So here's an example here on the screen. Yes, how would you deal with this example? A is to B is 2:3. B is to C is 5:2. C is to D is 1:4. They're asking us to find what A is to B is to C. Yes. A to B to C is what is asked. So what is this? This is a continuous ratio, right? So what do we have to do? We have to combine. What do we need? We need A, B and C, which means these are the only two ratios that we need to consider. This we can let go because this is just trivial piece of information. Yes. Now, what do we know? We have to make sure that the common term is same, right? So A to B is what? 2 to 3. Yes. And B to C is what? B to C 5:2. Yes. Now what do we have to do? We have to make sure that the common term, which is what? B. Yes, we have to make sure that B is equal. How would you do that? The fastest way to think here, is what? Find out the LCM. Yes, if there are two terms, and they are not factors or multiples of each other, yes, then find the LCM. Even if they are, going by LCM is the fastest way to deal with them. So what's the LCM of 3 and 5? 15. These are two prime numbers. 3 and 5 are prime numbers. We call them co-primes. If the LCM of two numbers, right? If the LCM of two numbers is the product of theirs. Yes, if the LCM is the product, then we call them as what? Co-primes. Yes. Trivial piece of information, we may not use it for this session, yes, but will be very useful when we deal with number systems. Yes. Great. So what do you do here? Multiply this ratio with 5, multiply this ratio with 3. That will ensure that the common term is the same. So if I multiply with this with 5, what happens? The new ratio would become what? 10 is to 6. Yes. And how about this? Multiply this with 3. Yeah, sorry, this is 10 is to 15. My bad. Issues. 10 is to 15. Yes. And what would this be? 15 is to 6. Yes. So what do I have to do? I have to combine these three. Now I've made sure that the common term has the same ratio. So quickly combine. A to B to C would be what? 10 is to 15 is to 6. Clear? Yes. So you may not, so this is not an actual question from CAT, guys. Yes, but this will help us minimize a lot of steps that we involve in a calculation, right? So this could be a part of a very big question, yes, or a more complex question, right? So this is a sub calculation or sub concepts. You can probably consider it that way. Great, guys. So anyone who said 10 is to 15 is to 6, amazing, amazing job, guys. Yes. Great, Vibhor, great, Hemant, superb, superb, Trikash. Yes, Girish. Raj, yeah, Raj, you'll have to check. Raj and Shivangi, you'll have to check your answers. Yes, Avik, correct. Kiran, correct. Super, Vijay. Everyone, great, super. Yes. Acha, Ritvik, okay, guys, you guys were talking about D, but D is not asked here. Yeah, please, guys, another thing that's important is do not answer anything that is not asked for in a question, right? Because a lot of questions, right, a lot of questions, there are trap answers being set purely based on what a candidate naturally would do. Yes, so candidate naturally would find out the ratio of D also, but then they have not asked for it. Yes, just to be on the safe side, right? Just to be on the safe side. A Muskan, no, number systems we have not touched yet, right? Number systems is a whole complete different scene. Yes, we have just started with arithmetic. Yes. Yeah, Jagrati. Yes, yes, Jagrati. Jagrati. I'm gonna keep telling that 100 times until I get your name right. Yes, Jagrati. Yeah, pros are playing, of course. Yes, these are just amateur games, of course. Now let's move on to different operations that you can do on a ratio, right? So on a pair of ratio, on a set of ratios, yes, what you can do is you can, add or sorry, you can multiply or divide anything. Yes, multiply or divide the same number, let's say m. Yes, the ratio will remain the same. So if it's a is to b, then the ratio will still be a is to b only, correct? Even if you multiply m to both or divide m to both, correct? But the moment you add or subtract, would the ratio remain the same? Would the ratio remain the same if you add the same number? For example, a is to b. Yes, if you add m to both of these, yes, a plus m, b plus m, would the ratio still be a is to b? Would it still be a is to b? Can you quickly answer this? So there's an already existing ratio a is to b. If I add m to both of this, would the ratio still be the same? Of course not, right? Of course not. Why? Why would they not be the same? Why would they not be the same? Oh, Sarfaraz, Hemant, no, they would never be the same. Yes, if I multiply and divide, yes, because these are common multiples. Yes, but then if I add or subtract, they would not be the same. Let's take an example, right? 5 is to 3, right? Let's stick to the same thing. 5 is to 3. Yes. So if I add 1 to each of this, if I add 1 to each of this, what would happen? The ratio would become what? 5 plus 1 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. Correct? Is 6 is to 4 same as 5 is to 3? Is 6 is to 4 same as 5 is to 3? ஒரு வாட்டி கொஞ்சம் செக் பண்ணுங்க
start stream continue sir class நான் கால் பண்றேன் அப்போ ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிடுங்க.
Got it.
சார் கரெக்ட்டா போயிடுச்சு சார்.
இல்ல ஜி பஃபர் ஆகுது இன்னும்.
இப்போ எனக்கு கரெக்ட்டா போயிடுச்சு சார். கட் பண்ணிடுங்க.
Yeah, hi guys. Hi. Hello. No. This time this wasn't on me. This isn't on me. My internet connection is A1. There's some issue with the server. That's why, right? Great, superb. Yeah, finally back. I know. Okay. Meanwhile, I was working on this. You guys have started. Wow, you guys. Great, superb. You guys have almost planned against me. Some kind of conspiracy group बनाएंगे. Sir को नहीं बोलेंगे. Yeah. I heard about that, Vibhor. I heard about that. But this has nothing to do on me, right? This has nothing to do with me. This is because of the server. Yes, YouTube पे कुछ लोचा, not mine. Okay. WhatsApp group बनाएंगे. कोई डॉक्टर को बुला. Okay. Wow, okay. Superb. Sir was speaking some different language. No, I wasn't speaking some different language. No. Okay. Hemant, stop using Google Translate. Okay, great, super. Let's get back on track, guys. Let's get back on track. Yeah, so what we were talking about, I'm gonna quickly recap that. Yes, so what we were talking about is if you multiply the same term or if you divide the same term on a ratio, yes, there is no change in the ratio. The ratio still remains the same, right? So A is to B, if I multiply both these ratios with M, the ratio still remains A is to B. Yes, and if I divide with M, the ratio still remains the same. But if I add the same number, will the ratio remain the same? Of course not. Yes, so it doesn't remain the same. Why? So 5:3 is 5/3, right? So if I add 1 to each of these, it becomes 6:4. It is no longer 5:3. Do you see it? Yes. So the ratio changes the moment you add or subtract anything. Yes. Great. Now, a few things that you can keep in mind here, right? A few things that you can keep in mind here. So in terms of ratios, when you have two, so let's look at this, right? Two different scenarios here. Yes. So look at this table here. If a ratio is greater than 1, what do you mean by greater than 1? A ratio like 5:3. So when you divide 5/3, you get a number greater than that. Or if the first ratio, if A is greater than B, in the ratio A is to B, if A is greater than B, then A is to B is greater than 1. Do you get it? Yes, guys, can you quickly confirm if you've understood this? In a ratio, if A is greater than B, then A is to B is greater than 1. The first ratio, we call this as the first ratio, the second ratio, right? So if the first ratio is greater than the second, then the entire ratio is greater than 1, of course, right? Okay, now in this case, if I were to add n to both these ratios, yes, quickly let's take an example. Same ऊपर वाला example ले लेते हैं, right? 5:3. Yes. So to 5:3, if I were to add 1 to both of this, right? Add 1 to both of this, what would the new ratio be? It would be 6:4. Yes, 6:4. Yes. Now, okay, let's take a number that is easy for us to deal with when we look at fractions or something, right? For example, let's take 6:4. Yes, so 6:4, if I were to add n, in this case n is what? 1. Yes, what happens? The ratio becomes 7:5. Yes, so see here, 6:4. So when we had 6:4, what was the value of this ratio? 6/4 would be how much? Yes, 0.75, correct? Sorry, 1.75. 1.5. क्या होगा? 1.5. Yes, but then what happens when we when we add the same number, what happens to the new ratio? 7:5 is how much? 1.4. So do you see how when you add a number, the total ratio value decreases? Yes. Do you see how the total ratio value decreases? Yes. So what is the key here? The key here is when you have a ratio that's greater than 1, and if you add n to it, the ratio decreases. Yes. Now let's try subtracting 1 to it. Yes, 6:4. 6:4. If we were to subtract 1 from it, what would happen? This would become what? 5:3. Yes. What is 5:3? 6:4 is 1.5. Yes. And 5:3 would be how much? 1.66, correct? So do you see how the value of the ratio increased when we reduced a number? Yeah, correct. So what is happening here? If a ratio is greater than 1 and if you add n to both the ratios, what happens? The ratio decreases. And if you subtract n, the ratio increases. Clear? Is this part clear? Yes. We've used this example to help you understand this. Is this clear though? Surana, of course, we'll look at the entire syllabus, total syllabus. We'll look at YouTube for you guys. Don't worry. Yeah. But quickly confirm if you've understood this. Have you understood this part? Why? Ritvik, is this why for this? Why as in it's a rule, it's a law. Right, so do you see how the ratio, so when I subtract a number, right, when I subtract a number, I'm basically reducing the denominator. So when I reduce the denominator, the total value increases, correct? The total fractional value increases. When I increase the denominator, the total fractional value decreases. That's the basic understanding of it, right? Now let's look at the second rule. What's the second rule say to us? That if a is to b is less than 1, for example, so I'm going to erase this part, right? I'm going to erase this example part. Yes. So if we take a ratio that is less than 1, which means what? The numerator must be smaller than the denominator, or in other terms, what should we have? We should have the first ratio to be smaller than the second ratio. Yes. So instead of 6:4, let's now consider 4:6. Yes. So if I were to add the same number to both of this, right, +1, +1, what happens? This would become 5:7. Yes. So how much is 4:6, guys? 4:6 is what? 2/3, that is 0.66, correct? And how about 5:7? 5:7 is what? Almost 0.7. Yes. Correct. 4.9 by 7 is 0.7. So almost that. So if you see how, if a ratio is less than 1, a is to b is less than 1, 4:6 mein, if you add something, the ratio increases. Correct? The ratio increases. Yes. At the same time, if I were to reduce some number from it, so from 4:6, if I were to subtract 1 from both these ratios, what would happen? I would have 3:5. So 4:6 is 0.66. Yes, 0.66. 3:5 is how much? 0.6 alone. Yes. So do you see how the total ratio or the total fractional value has decreased? Yes. So what happens if the ratio is less than 1? That is, the first ratio is less than the second ratio. If you add something, the ratio will increase. If you subtract something, the ratio will decrease. Got it? Yeah, okay. Add वाले में problem है. Add वाला कौन सा, which part, Anuj? The first part or the second part? Greater than 1 ratio or less than 1 ratio? Just assume some value. Assume a is to b का कोई value assume कर लो, such that the first ratio is greater than the second ratio, and then just try to add some number to it, both of the ratios. Yes, and check what is the result of it. Yes. Right, Balram. Okay. Got it where this is pointed towards, but can't really help it. Okay. Great. So are these two rules done? Yes, rule one, rule two clear. Yeah. Again, like I said, this may not help you majorly, but then the most impact this would have would be on smaller calculations. Yes, especially if there are answer choices to a question, right? So if there are answer choices, and instead of sitting and calculating or finding out the actual ratio, you could directly just eliminate the answer choices that do not satisfy the given condition in the table. Got it? Yes. Okay. Now if there is a ratio, right, if there is a ratio that is AM and BM, right? And if I were to add AN and BN, for example, yes, so I'm going to quickly explain this to you. Yes, first or second rule is done. Now for the third rule, right? If I take two numbers that are in a standard ratio, yes, let's say, okay. So let's take two numbers that are in the ratio 2:3. Yes, let's take two numbers. Let's take 6 and 9. Yes. So if I were to add, right, if I were to add two numbers, yes, one to the numerator, one to the denominator, that is also in the ratio 2:3. Yes. Let's say 8:12. Yes. Do you see how this is in the ratio 2:3? This is in the ratio 2:3. Yes. What is the final outcome? Final outcome is what? 6 plus 8, 14. 9 plus 12, 21. Yes. Cancel out with 7. What do you get? 2:3. Yes. So what's the idea here? If there are two numbers in a ratio, and if another ratio is added which is proportional to it, right? A is to B, A is to B. Then the resultant will also be A is to B. Yes. Is this clear? The same thing applies for subtraction also, right? You quickly use an example and let me know if this works for you. Take the same ratio 2:3. Yes, have 6:9, right? If I were to reduce 2 from here and reduce 3 from here, what would happen? This would be in the ratio of 4:6, which is still what? 2:3. Yes. So any two numbers that are in a ratio A is to B, if another two numbers are added to them, which are in the ratio A is to B, then the resultant will remain the same. Clear? Yes. Any confusions here? Is the third rule also clear for you guys? Yes. The three rules when it comes to addition or subtraction of something to the ratio. Yes. Asta, how easy is MAT from CAT? Okay, MAT is easier with respect to the kind of questions, right? Maths questions are very straightforward than CAT. So if you've noticed, the questions in CAT would actually be testing basic concepts, but then the question would not, show that off, right? The question would look like it is some complex concept that it is testing, right? Oh, Ashish, superb man, superb. Congratulations, buddy. Let your brother know that I send my regards to him. Great. Superb. Great, great. Some good news for today, right? Okay, so are we clear with this concept, guys? Great. Yes, so before we move on to comparison of ratios, right? Can you guys quickly confirm if you've understood everything that we've spoken? I understand everything that we've spoken for so far has been only with basics, right? We've been dealing only with basics, but still, just a confirmation on whether you were able to understand everything that we spoke about or not. Yes. Okay, so if you understood that, then before we move on to the next concept, a small celebration, right? Just for our mind and body. Yes. So cheers, and this one could probably be dedicated to Ashish's brother for getting selected in IIM, and how miserable his life is going to be from now on, unless he gets into something better than IIM. Cheers to you, buddy. Great. Okay, now let's look at how to compare ratios, right? Very simple concept. We can do this, we can get over with this real quick, right? How would you compare ratios, right? If there are two terms given to you in terms of ratios, how would you compare them? Yes. So if a question was asked wherein you have to compare 3 is to 4 and 5 is to 7, which is greater, you can use one of these. Yes. So you can use fraction. Yeah. That would basically mean what? 3 is to 4 would be what? 3 by 4, right? So I'm going to do this here. Yes, 3 is to 4 would be 3 by 4. And 5 is to 7 would be what? 5 by 7. Yes. Now, in order to compare two fractions, what would you do? Take LCM, right? 4 and 7, again co-primes. LCM would be what? Product of theirs. So this would become what? This would basically be, so this particular term would become what? 21 by 28. And this would be what? 20 by 28. Now, can you quickly tell me which is greater? Is it 3 is to 4 or 5 is to 7? Very simple to do when you deal with fractions, right? Which is greater? This is greater. If this is greater, that basically means what? 3 is to 4 is a greater fraction. Yes. Anup, any question? My voice is breaking. I don't think my voice is breaking. No, Swagnik, please check your internet connection. Please check if there's any issue from your end, right? Because here it's smooth. How about others? Are you able to hear me? Okay, so this is comparing two ratios with the help of fractions. Yes, so you use fractions, not convert them into, integers, don't convert them into anything, right? Decimal or anything. Directly deal with ratios. Yes, using fractions. Now, the next thing is using unit. That basically means what? You convert one of the ratios as 1. Yes, so 8 is to 5 can be written as what? 8 by 5 is to 1, correct? Yes, can I say that 8 is to 5 can be written as 8 by 5 is to 1? How? If I divide both these ratios by 5, the ratio still remains the same, right? So 8 by 5 and 5 by 5, which is nothing but 8 by 5 is to 1. On the other side, what do you have? 7 by 4 is to 1. Yes. Now compare which is greater, 8 by 5 or 7 by 4. Yes, again, what would you have to do? Either quickly convert this into decimals. 8 by 5 is very simple. क्या हुआ था? What happened? LR sir ने क्या कहा था विभोर? You can always use percentages also, Vibhor, if that's what you're suggesting. Percentage भी use कर सकते हो. Okay, so here using unit, which means you convert the other ratio into 1, right? So 8 by 5 would be how much, guys? How much is 8 by 5? 1.6. Yes, so this is what? 1.6 is to 1, and this would be what? 7 by 4, that is 3.5 by 2, that is 1.75 is to 1, correct? Are you guys understanding this? Yes, so 1.6 is to 1 is greater than 1.75 is to 1? No, the other way around. Yes, what is greater? 1.75 is greater, which means 7 is to 4 is the greater value. Clear? ओ अच्छा, ओके. अरे यार, ऐसे कोड्स यूज करोगे तो मेरे को नहीं पता. पहले मेरे को बताओ क्या कोड है. या Swagnik, yeah. So again, it is dividing only, but then it's comparing to 1. Yes, simple concept, similar concept only, right? So if you think this doesn't work, then you go the other way around, but there you'll have to compare it with the reciprocal. Same concept, yes. So when I say unit, it is for us to do it mentally. Technically, everything is same. Percentage bhi same hi rahega, right? Even when we talk of percentage, it could still be the same only. Got it? Yes. Now in this case, right, using percentage, what would you do? Just convert this into percentage, right? 9 is to 2 is 9 by 2, which is how much? 4.5. 4.5 is what? 450 percentage. Yes. So if this is 100 percentage, then this would be 450%. Again, if you see, it's the same, right? Same. Just that it will help us do this calculation better mentally. Yes. And 14 is to 3 would be what? 14 is to 3 would be how much? 14 by 3 is how much? 4.66. So this would be what? 466% if this were 100%. Yes, same concept, just a better understanding of the numbers here, right? Yes, so what do you have here? 14 is to 3 would be the greater value. Yes, so comparing using similar idea, right? The idea is the same by dividing, क्योंकि ratio में क्या ही कर सकते हैं, right? But then when you have to do it mentally, that's all these matters. Yes. Correct, Balram. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yes, same ही है, just different perceptions to it. Yes, whatever will help you do it better mentally is what this is about. Yes. Anup, what is it? Solve me questions 20 is to 50 and 2 is to 7. As in compare which is greater. Is that what you're asking? Are you asking me to compare 20 is to 50 and 2 is to 7? यार ये तो खुद ही कर लेते हैं. Yes, 20 is to 50 is 2 is to 5. That is nothing but 2 by 5. This is 2 is to 7. That is nothing but 2 by 7. Which is greater? Whichever has the smaller denominator is greater. So this is greater, this is smaller. हो गया. Yes. Great. So this was comparison only to make sure that we are proactive when we are comparing ratios. That's it, right? So here is an example now, right? An example, very simple one. Yes. Quickly do this. Let me know if your answer is, if you've gotten the answer. Yes. So we have an example here that says X and Y are 20 and 50% more than Z. What is Y is to X? Yes. Irshad, I do speak Hindi. I of course speak Hindi, but I think it's better if we stick majorly to English, right? थोड़ा सा verbal VARC में भी help हो जाएगा. If not there, then at least later GDPI में help हो जाएगा, right? That's the reason why I maintain English. Yes, but अगर आपको कुछ repeat करना है, if you want me to repeat something, अगर कोई part आपको समझ में नहीं आया और वो repeat करवाना चाहते हो, then you can go ahead and ask. Don't hesitate. Yes. Yes, super. So everybody is getting what? 5 is to 4. Yeah, so I'm going to keep a common language, guys. I'm going to keep a common language. If you want specifically for a part, right? एक अगर छोटा part है जो समझ में नहीं आया, that I can repeat in Hindi. Yes. Majorly English में रखते तो I guess better रहेगा, right? और moreover maths है यार, maths की कोई भाषा नहीं है, right? The math does not have any language. Yes. So I don't think we should get involved in that discussion at all. Okay. So what is given here? X and Y are 20%, 50% more than Z. Yes, so there's X, there's Y, right? X is 20% more than Z, which basically means what? If you've attended the percentage lecture, you will know 20% more basically means what? 100% plus 20%, which is how much? 120%. That is nothing but 1.2 times, right? So X is what? 1.2 times Z. Y is what? 1.5 times Z. Yes, they're asking for the ratio. Yeah, so anything common you can let go. You can call this as 1.2 is to 1.5 or 12 is to 15. If I were to further cancel this, what would happen? This would be 4 3 times. This would be 5 3 times. Yes, so 4 is to 5 is the answer to some other question. This question's answer is what? The question is asking for Y is to X, which is what? 5 is to 4. Yes. So very I call this as a dirty play, right? With ratios, what they do is they interchange the ratio values. They interchange the numerator and denominator and ask, or sometimes when they give the data, they do that sometimes, right? So don't be a victim of that. Yes, this is a trap, and don't fall for it. Whenever you have a question, right, it's always better to have a note of it somewhere on your scratch paper. Yes, I keep a note of it mentally. Yes, if you want, you can keep a note of it on a scratch paper. Anything that would help you. Yeah. Anup, check karo. Anup, cancel this further. I don't think this will end up as 5:4. Please check. Please check. Correct, Swagnik. Yeah. In fact, physics and mathematics go hand in hand. If that's what you're intending on saying. Okay, the link for the Telegram group has been shared, guys. Anyone who was asking for it. So let's look at the next example now. The next example is an MCQ. There is a question and answer choices to it. Yes. Very commonly asked question type. Very commonly asked question type. Not only for CAT, right? May not be for CAT, but then majorly in a lot of other questions they ask this. So the total money is $495. They have $1, 50-cent and 25-cent coins. And the ratio of this is what? $1 is 1, 50 cents is 8 pieces, and 25 cents is 16 coins. How many 50-cent coins are there in the bag is what they're asking. Can you quickly answer this question? This question should not take you more than 30 seconds. It's that simple. Yes. Correct. Yeah, very simple question. Very simple question. Yes. Yeah. 440. Option D, 440 is the answer, right answer. Yes. So traditionally, how we would solve this question is okay. So let's call it dollar, 50-cent, and 25 cents. Yes, these are the coins. Yeah. What is the ratio? 1:8:16. Yes. So the number of coins would be what? 1x, 8x, 16x, which is how much? 25x. So the total coins are in the ratio 25x. But this would not be helpful. Why? Because these are of different denominations. Yes. So this is of what denomination? $1. Now, since it's in cents, right, we can consider everything, or no, let's not even do that, right? $1, 50 cents is half a dollar, right? So half dollar. 25 cents is 1/4 of a dollar, so 1/4 of a dollar. Yes. Now what do you get? $1, and there are X coins of that, which means X, plus half dollar, 8X coins, which is 4X, plus 1/4 of a dollar and 16X, that is again 4X. Yes. So what do you have? Total money is 9X. If 9X is equal to 495, yes, which is how much? 49. So 45, 99 times. Yes, so X is 99, which basically means how much should I have? Yes, 8X, right? They're asking what? How many? They're asking how many 50-cent coins are there? Yes, so 50-cent coins would be how many? It's 55. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. ये match क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? 55, of course. Yes. So I divided it by 5. I should divide it by 9. 55. So the value of X given to us is what? 55. Which means 50 pice coins are 8X. So 8 into 55 would be how much? 400 plus 40, 440. Yes, but this would be the standard way of answering this question, right? Standard way of answering this question. Yes, using equations and all that, using ratios. To be frank, what you have to notice here is the number of 50 pice coin is going to be 8x, correct? And the value of x here cannot be a decimal. Why? Because the number of coins, right? Number of coins cannot be in fraction or decimal. I cannot have 1.5 coin. Yes, I can't have 1 by 2 coins. It's not possible at all, right? It has to be an integral value. It has to be integer, which basically means what? That my answer, right? My answer should be a multiple of 8. Would you agree? Yes. So quickly tell me, is 50 divisible by 8? No, it's not. Is 220 divisible by 8? No. 160 is divisible, 240 is divisible, 220 is not. Is 380 divisible by 8? No. Why? 320 is divisible, 360 is divisible, 400 is divisible, not 380. The only answer that is divisible by 8 is what? 440, and that's my answer. Yes. So the key here is what? The key here is what? If the entities, right? If the entities are physical entities, something that cannot be partial, right? Whole values, yes, which we call them as what? Integral values, right? Which are in the form of integers. Yes. So if they are integral values or if they are integers, then you can quickly eliminate answer choices based on the multiples. Got it? Any confusions here, anyone? No. Great. Another example on the screen. 3 people divided some chocolates in the ratio 3:5:7 among themselves. After eating 16 chocolates, they realized that the remaining number of chocolates with them was equal to the largest. So here, all you have to do is based on the ratios, right? Based on the ratios, quickly just calculate, make equations. That's it. Okay, Swagnik, why did we not do that? Is because 495 is the money. It's not the total number of coins. So that is why we were not able to divide that in the ratio. Do you get it? $495 diya hua hai in the question. If you read that carefully, it's not 495 coins in total. It's $495. That's why. Got it? Yeah. So answers have started coming in. Great. Okay, so what is it? Just make equations, right? What do you know? They've divided it in the ratio 3:5:7, which means if the ratio is 3:5:7, which means the total number of chocolates here would be how much? 15x, correct? Why? 3x, 5x, 7x, total 15x. Yes. Now out of 15x, what happened? They ate 16 chocolates. So they ate 16 chocolates, which means this is what is remaining. This is equal to what? The largest number of chocolates one of them got individually, which is what? This is the largest, correct? 3:5:7. The third guy got largest, which is how much? 7x. Now all that you have to do is what? Calculate the value of x and substitute here to get the total number, right? So what would you get? You would get 8x to be 16, or in other words, x would be 2. Yes, if x is 2, that's not what the answer is. Please be careful, guys. Do not end up giving the answer to your question, end up giving the answer to the question asked to you, right? So x is 2, which means we want to find out the total chocolates they had initially, which is what? 15x. So 15 twice is what? 30. Got it? So it's just matter of equations. That's it. Yes, make equations and you're almost there. Yeah. Great. So Anuj, 55 is thoda incorrect. Please check. Shweta, you as well. Yeah. Any confusions here? Anyone? None? Superb. Another example then. So what we are working at is how to reduce the number of steps. That's it. Yes. Do a lot of calculations mentally. Yes. Go ahead, guys. Answer this question. Yeah, no options to this question, guys. Swagnik, no options to this question. How many books do they each have is the question. Just mentally do it. That's it. So what do we know? We know that two friends together have 12 books. If 4/15 of one of their books is equal to 2/15 of another, one of their number of books, that's what this question means. Yes. So let's consider them to be A and B. So what they're saying is 4/15 of this guy, yes, 4/15 of this guy is the same as 2/15 of the other. So what's the ratio? 4/15 is to 2/15. Got it? Yes. I think it's supposed to be 4/15 and 2/5. Yes, thoda sa change in the question. It's 4/15 of one of their books is equal to 2/5 of the other. Yeah. Okay. Thoda sa error in the printing. No issues. So what do you get then? The ratio is what? 4/15 is to 2/5. Or in other words, you can either cross multiply or you can do what? Make sure that the denominators are common and then remove it off. So what would happen here? 15, this is 5. So multiply this with what? 3 and 3. The fraction would still remain the same, right? The fraction remains the same, then the ratio also remains the same, right? So 4/15 is to what? 6/15 or 4:6. Yes. So now 1 to 10 books. 1 to 10 books is to be split in what ratio? 4:6, which means first you divide it in total parts, that is 10 parts, and then calculate how much would each get. So the first guy would get this, the second guy would get same 10 parts, but then he would get what? 6 parts of it. Yes, so what would you get? The first guy would get 484 books. Yes, the other guy would get what? 1210 minus 484. Yes, or in other terms, how much would he get? He would get 726 books. Got it? So what are the numbers of their books? 484 and 726. Yes. Got it? Yes. Great. Super. I got it. I got it. So it was in decimal because of this small error. Baki sab theek. Swarna, I think you haven't watched our older videos, right? So please go through the older lectures. Pipes and cisterns we've covered in time and work. Boats and streams we've covered in time, speed, distance, जो कि अभी हुआ था 3 दिन पहले. Yes. Great, super. So here is how you would split it, right? So first divide it in equal parts and then give whatever is denoted to each of these. Another question, real quick, guys. Fatafat. Swagnik, yeah, you can obviously divide directly, yes, but what would you divide it as? 4/15 and 2/5 of what? Of the total number of books, 1210? Don't you think that wouldn't work out? Yes. No, Swagnik, no. It does not say that. It does not say that one guy's book is 4/15. One guy's number of books is 4/15 of the total. No. Read the question carefully, Swagnik. It says what? 4/15 of one guy's book is the same as 2/15 of the other guy's book, not the total. टोटल होता तो ये गलत होता बिकॉज 4/15 एंड 2/5 विल नॉट गिव अस 100% नहीं होता है वो राइट 4/15 एंड 11/15 होना चाहिए या 2/5 एंड 3/5 होना चाहिए गॉट इट स्वग्निक यस हाय अंकिता गुड इवनिंग हेलो yes so here is the question a profit is shared among PQRS in the proportion 5:2:4:3 okay if R gets 3200 more than Q what is S's share yes so what is their ratio 5:2:4:3 and who are they P Q R and S great right now here what you'd have to do the information given to us is what if R gets 3200 more than Q yes R gets 3200 more than Q which basically means what if this is 4x this is 2x yes 4x minus 2x that's the difference between their profit right 4x and 2x which is how much 2x that is given to us in the question as what 3200 yes so x would become what 3200 by 2 that's 1600 yes now is this the answer to my question no what does the question ask S's share S is what 3 parts yes so 1600 is x what do we need 3x so 3x would be what 1600 thrice yes if you have difficulties doing this find out double and then add it double would be 3200 plus 1600 is what 4800 or I don't think 16 into 3 should be a big task so S's share is what 4800 yes clear very simple question yes what do you have to do here is so from now on when you mentally do it do not get involved in equations don't depend upon x and all that just look at this right this guy gets 4 parts of the total profit this guy gets 2 parts of the total profit right which means the difference here is 2 parts we need what difference to be 3200 which basically means what each part is 1600 got it yes each part is 1600 only then 2 parts difference would be 3200 all mental yes so if one part is 1600 then what is 3 parts 3200 sorry 3200 plus 1600 that's 4800 yes yeah correct Hemant yeah we've forgotten in the flow we've actually forgotten yes thank you so much Hemant yeah cheers to us guys cheers to all the efforts that we are willing to put in for CAT 2020 Saurav, I understand the level is very simple, but the idea here is to get used to the questions. CAT questions, we do it separately. So tomorrow we'll be looking at CAT questions from the last 3 years paper, 17, 18, 19. Okay? I hope that helps you. Yeah, cheers to you guys. Okay, another question here. Let's quickly do this. So here they say what? Jack and Rose invest in a shipping company, which is funny. I don't know if you got the joke or not. Because Jack and Rose, Titanic, Dubiti, shipping company. Anyway, in the ratio 2:3, if they add 4,000 extra each, the new ratio of investment is 40:57. What is Rose's initial investment is the question, right? So Jack, Rose, their initial investments are what? 2:3. Obviously, Rose was able to invest more because of the diamond that she had. Yeah, anyway, if they add 4,000 extra, which means if they add 4,000 extra to their ratios, yes, not to their ratios directly, but to their investment. Yes, so rupees 4,000 is added extra. The final ratio becomes what? 40 is to 57. Great. So generally how we would do it, this would be X. Yes. So what do you know? 2x plus 4,000, Jack's investment plus 4,000 over Rose's investment plus 4,000. Yes, would be how much? The ratio should be what? 40 is to 57. Correct. So here what we would go ahead and do, we would go ahead and cross multiply, right? So you would cross multiply, you would get here as what? 2 into 57, which is how much? So this would lead to what? 57 twice is 114x. Yes. I'm not going to multiply 4057 yet because I know I can take something common out there. So what do I have? 4,000, I'm going to write it as 4k. So 4k into 57. This should be equal to what? This should be equal to 40 into 3, that's 120x plus 4k into 40. Yes. So what would happen? Take one the other side. So you would get what? 6x. Yes. 120 minus 14 is 6x. Yes. So here if I take this here, what would happen? I don't have to multiply 4k with 57, 4k with 40 because now what happens? 4k becomes common. Yes, 4,000 is common. 57 minus 40 is what? 17. Yes, so this is thrice, this is 2 times. Yes, so x is how much? 34. Now you can add the zeros. Yes, 34,000. Yes, by 3. What is asked? Rose's initial investment, which is what? 3x. Yes, so we need not even go ahead and do this part, right? This part we don't even have to do it. Why? Because we should have an eye on what is asked. 3x is asked, which is how much? 34,000. Got it? Yes, super. Now what I have here for you guys, yes, is a quick way to deal with questions of this sort. Okay, now I don't know if you would find it easy for yourself, right? But then see here, yeah, quick shortcut. 2x, okay, x ko bhul ja, right? They will directly deal in ratios. We'll make sure that the common multiples are same. So initially it is 2 is to 3, then it becomes what? 40 is to 57. Yes. Now look here guys, I'm going to do this mental calculation with yellow, right? What is the difference here? 40 and 57, the difference is 17. What is the difference here? The difference is 1. Yes. So there is a rule that says if I want to make all the common multiples the same, yes, instead of having two different common multiples, if I were to make the common multiple same, then I have to make sure that this difference and this difference is same and this difference and this difference is same, which would automatically become afterwards. Yes. So what do I have to do? I have to quickly multiply this with what? 17. Yes. So 2x into 17 would be what? 34x. So this is 34 is to 51. Yes, this is what? 40 is to 57. Do you see now? 34 and 40 difference is 6. 51 and 57 difference is 6. Yes. Now what do you know? You know that the difference between these two is what? 4,000 rupees. Correct? Difference between these two is what? 4,000 rupees. Yes. So 6x. Do you see how the difference is 6x, right? So 6x is 4,000 rupees. If you can do this calculation mentally, there's nothing better than that. 6x is 4,000, 3x is what? 2,000. What do we need? We need 51x. This is what they're asking, right? Rose's initial investment 51. That's what 17 into. So 17x or 51x in this case. Yes, into 17. 2,000 into 17 is what? 34,000. If you want to avoid equations, that is. Yes, have you understood this though? Were you able to understand this? अजय मैं समझ रहा हूँ. I understand the question is very simple. Yes, आप लोगों को लग रहा होगा, you guys would be thinking कि सर ये CAT level का नहीं है. I understand. Yes, but then like I told you in the beginning of the session, right? We set the agenda in the beginning of the session that this session's aim is not to deal with CAT level questions. This is to help refresh your memory, make the foundation strong. Yes. Dekho, see, that's the aim here, right? So Vibhor was, benefited by this. Yes. So the reason why we teach concepts with simple questions, not to help you answer the question, but to help you remember the concepts. Yes. ठीक है. Great. Super. तो एक और करते हैं, फिर this would be the end of the session. Yes. Quick guys. Very simple question. Very simple. The question is asking what? They're asking for the predicted population, that is population after increase. 5:7:8 is the population, and there's an increase of 40%, 50%, and 75%. Yes. So the initial ratio is what? 5:7:8. And there is an increase in 40%, 50%, and 75%. So here there's an increase in 40%. Here there's an increase by 50%. And here there is an increase by 75%. Yes. So if this is 5x, 7x, 8x, the new ratios would become what? 5x पे 40% increase. What is 40% of 5? 2. So this would become what? 7x. 5x already tha, plus 40% we added, which means plus 2, that's 7x. 7x already is there, 50% increase, 50% of 7 is what? 3.5. So if I add 3.5 to it, this would be what? 10.5x. Yes, and 8 by 75% increase, 75 is nothing but 3/4. So 3/4 of 8 is how much? 6. 6 increase on this is how much? 14x. Yes, so the new ratio is what? 7:105:14, or in other terms, this is what? 70:105:140. And we all know that all of this is divisible by 7. Yes, so this would be what? 10. This is 15. This is 20, right? Which is again what? 2:3:4. Yes. Any confusions here? Anyone? Right. Super. Yeah. So just percentage direct increase. You do not have to use any other tool. Just mentally do it. Simple as that. Yeah. Great. Hello. Hi, Rupali. Hello. Yeah. So this is it from my end, guys, for today's. Just please make sure that you take up the subscription. You know the importance of the subscription and what are the benefits of the plus. Yes, all you have to do is install, take up the required package, and use the code Surana Live. This code will help you get the discount of 10%. Yes. Thank you very much for being in today's session, guys. Please do not forget to like this video. I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Until then, thank you very much. Good night, guys.